What's going on, everyone on YouTube? We're actually back doing another podcast today, and we've actually got some news to bring you guys. That's a bit late, that you probably already know, but we're going to get our take on it, as well as actually doing the reading of all the articles, and we're going to go through one little bug at the end that I've come across personally that's happened to my character, which we will share with you guys as well. So, John, welcome back to the podcast again. Thank you very much for joining. We do apologise about the lack of content going out at the moment. I mean, our real lives are taking over a bit much at the moment. But we are going to try and get content out as much as we can for you guys. So today we're here to talking about the Bonding Runestones and the companion changes. That was released a couple of days ago. So what we know so far is the fact, to cut a long story short so you don't have to actually read through everything on here. Companion changes are going to be, there's no more Bonding Runestones. Runestones are being, well, the Bonding Runestones alone are being taken out of the game completely, and we're going to get some stat equalizers with the other companions. How do you feel about this, John?
I'm worried. I'm worried for a lot of classes, because there's going to be some classes that get ridiculously buffed because of this, and some classes that are going to suffer massively because of this.
I agree. Barbarian mainly, I would say, are going to get a massive buff, because a little birdie does tell me that everyone is going to have the same form of companion powers. So a little birdie's told me that it's going to be one offensive companion power, one defensive companion power, one utility companion power, as well as two universal companion powers. So the universal means that I can have any form of combat power in there, being utility, offensive, defensive, it doesn't matter. I can have anything I want in that power. Personally, as a barbarian myself, I think this is going to be one of the biggest buffs ever that happened to barbarian, considering we've always struggled with the one offensive slot that we've always had, whereas many other classes, it normally has at least two. So we're going to get a big buff that way if we can put in, say, we'll have an alpha compy in the utility slot, maybe a minstrel in the power or a different one, and then we've got the raptor, the bateri, as well as the deep grow hatchling. That's a massive boost in power and damage for us. So that could be a big boost for us that way. But maybe John has a different outtake on it, being a Scourge Warlock. So let's see what he's got to say about the changes that's going to be happening for him.
So for me, at the moment with Warlocks, you get 3 offense, 1 defense, and 1 utility. So at the moment I'm running Compy in utility, Minstrel in defense, and then Deep Grow, Bateri, and Raptor, which are my slots. For me, nothing's really going to change. So in terms of my damage output, which I do at the moment, nothing's really going to change, because it's going to be the same ones I use anyway. That's what's worrying for me, the fact that the damage I do now is going to be the same damage I do when these changes happen anyway. For other classes, they're going to get buffed. Like, I know Cleric has 2 utilities, 2 offense, 1 defense. So they're going to have the extra offense slot, which for them, again, is going to be insane for another damage buff for them. Like you said, barbarians are going to be able to have more than 1 offense slot now, which is great for them, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure on the ranger, and I don't know about the fighter. I've never really played them. Wizard, I think, have 2 or 3 offense, 1 defense, 1 utility, so they'll be in the same place as warlocks. So there's going to be a lot of differentiation between the classes. Go on, sorry.
But surely then that's what everyone's been asking for, was a differentiation between the classes. So as a player base, to play classes that are quite similar towards the builds, and now we're actually going to be experiencing more unique builds due to the different companions that we can use to figure out our build. Isn't that the more beneficial thing for this game right now than it is to everyone still be very similar in their builds altogether?
But then on the same part of that, I understand what you're saying, but then are you not just making 1 or 2 classes the best in the game that everybody's going to want to play?
To a degree, but that means things could change for, say, the wizard. The wizard being literally one of the worst classes in the game right now. You could see something that comes out of the water where it's going to be one of the best classes that you could play. We don't know what officially are going to be the changes, but without the bonding runestones now will lead to a complete differentiation of classes altogether. So I'm hoping something along the lines of the wizard could be a fun class to properly play again, or something could change with the whisper knife for Trickster Rogue, that everyone so seems to want to play Trickster, because Trickster does a lot of DPS out, but especially in PvP, the fact that they can go stealth as well as using, it goes on and on.
But then another thing we got to look at with these changes as well is it's not just that that's changing, it's the actual companions themselves can be upgraded.
Exactly, but do we expect the nerf to happen for the chicken and the Zuna? Absolutely. I personally feel like the Zuna and the chicken is going to get nerfed completely, because they're in this writing here. It says in the companions that fighting companions will give 85% of their item level in combined rating. The rest of the rating is accounted for by the fact they do damage. So we don't necessarily think that the augment companions are going to be taken away from the game, but they're the ones that's going to give you the 100% combined rating compared to a fighting companion which gives you 85. But then you have to make up for that 15% in other ways, which is technically possible to do. And that's a higher DPS output if you can get the right one there, in my personal opinion. I know a lot of people have been talking about this, the community's in uproar about it. But on the other hand, you do get a free ton of AD. So it all depends on how you would take it. I mean, me personally, I've now got between 6 and 10 Bonding Runestone 15s to trade back to Neverwinter to give myself 2.6 million AD per bonding. And depending on other characters, if you're a end class or mid tier or even beginners won't experience the bonding changes anyway because they haven't got to that point yet. Mid tiers will probably just be trying to get to that bonding thing, so I can understand this could be a bit of an outrage for them, the fact they've been spending money and things to get their bonding up as much as they can just to be wiped to their stats. End tier players, I personally believe they have got the money there to be able to warrant the change. Especially the fact they're going to get a big boost now with the bonding Runestone 15s that they've collected, to be able to say buy companion tokens, farm for the companion tokens, get these companions up to mythic to give us a similar bolster to the mount changes that we recently had. Obviously, I personally believe that it's going to be 200 companion tokens to upgrade from legendary to mythic, because it is only 120, I believe, from epic to legendary.
I think it'll be more. I don't know why, I just got a funny feeling it'll be more than that.
See, well, if it's epic to legendary, 150 mount tokens, and then 200 mount tokens from legendary to mythic, and it's 120 companion tokens from epic to legendary, I think they'll miss the gap there and put... I don't think it'll be 150 companion tokens, because it's only 90 to 120 difference.
Yeah, no, it'll be more than 150.
So
I think it'll be more than 200 if I'm being honest, but we don't know until these changes come.
Well, especially onto the preview
they drop
server.
On preview in a week's time.
Yeah, so we got that happening in a moment. Let's just have a quick look at the chat of the amount of AD you're going to get for the people who are watching this on YouTube and not just listening. So if you got Bonding 15, 2.6 mil, 14, 1.8 mil, 13, 1 mil, 12, 500, 11, 250. It all goes down and down and down in levels. But that also tells us how much the actual worth of the bondings are in the eyes of Cryptic. So if they're saying that the 15 is worth 2.6 mil, if you go onto the current auction house now, they will probably not go for anything less than 2.6 mil for the fact they're going to get that 2.6 mil when it comes to it when the changes happen. It does say here, last part of the changes is that companions will be able to be upgraded to mythic, which we know about now, which will have a base item level of 1500 like like mounts do. Mythic companions provide 20% bolster, and a given companion category will be able to max out at 100% bolster, very similar to the mounts, with the top 5 quality companions in that category. So does that mean it's going to be 10 companions or 5 companions, just putting 5 companions in that category? So if I have 5 fighting companions at Mythic, that will give me the 100% bolster for fighting companions. Not if I was to say have mixed companions of like augment.
Yeah, it's the same as mounts. So what they're saying is like with the mounts, the top 10 leveled mounts at Mythic will give you the 100% bolster because each Mythic one gives you 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're saying here is under any category, each Mythic companion will give you 20%. So for under each category, you've got to have 5 Mythic companions.
Exactly.
Which will give you the 100% for that. What's it called? That category, isn't it? Which will give you 100% bolster for that category when you've got one summoned from that category. When you swap to, say, I don't know, if you've got a baby polar bear for healing, comes under the bottom one. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's creatures or something.
Creatures are mythical, one of the two, yeah.
Yeah, and then in different thing, then if I'm on DPS, I'll be using bullet buff at the moment because that's obviously what's best at the moment. We don't know if that's going to be the case in a few weeks' time. But again, I'd have to have 5 mythic companions under that one. So for me, I'm going to have to get 10 mythic companions, which is going to cost a shitload, really.
Yeah, it's going to be... If you're a person to play 2 sides of classes, it's going to be costly. It's going to be very, very costly for you. Whereas for me, I'm only a barbarian DPS, where I'm going to be looking at it like, well, I just have to upgrade 5 companions of the right one of my choice, being either fighters or augments, depending on which one's going to be the better.
Yeah.
It'll be easier for the long run. Okay, and then just to finish Jared's statement off, hopefully this early information will both allow you to feel confident on your choices and are changes you will be looking forward to trying out on preview soon. Me personally, as an overall for this, I'm looking forward to it. I like change. I like new things to try, but a lot of people are very different in that sense and don't like going backwards to go forwards again.
Me personally, I got no problem with the changes. What I got a problem with is the cost involved with these changes.
Yeah, but at least they're giving you a discount on the bondings being refunded back to you.
Yeah, but 7.5 mil is what you'll get for those 3 bondings, which is a decent amount, really. I'm not saying elsewise, but how much of that is instantly going to go back into the companions?
To be fair, they could have turned around and said, no, you're getting fuck all. Mm-hmm. So,
There's also another part of this we need to look at as well. Dark enchantments.
Yeah, the utilities. I personally feel they need to be bringing out a utility for more realistic utility stat bonuses. So, get rid of the companion influence, bring back the movement speed for the dark companions. Dark companions, one more about dark enchantments.
The reason why they're getting rid of the companion influence is because that was based on your bondings, wasn't it?
Yes. But it gave you hardly any stats anyway. It's the same with tacticals when they increase your income and healing and they nerf that.
Yeah.
But where are the actual utility stats that we need? So we need movement speed. We need things like crit severity. Crit severity would be a massive one for utility stat. I'm always looking for crit severity for my barbarian to try and build it up a bit more and more, especially
to be honest,
now.
I think any role could do with more crit severity, tank, healer, and DPS.
Yeah, but it's something that they could be implementing. If they were to change something like the Dark Enchantment now to be crit severity rather than the companion influence, I think that could be something fantastic for any build. Considering I find that I've got 170% crit severity, but I'm always lacking crit. So I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing much more damage.
Crit severity isn't going to be based on critical chance, is it?
No, I'm on about.
Severity is how much a critical hit does.
Yeah, I'm on about. I'm not seeing at the difference between that much damage in when I was doing 160% to say 170%. I'm not getting much at all, which should be completely different at the level we are at the moment with, say, the companion influence, the mountain bolsters, blah blah blah. It goes on and on and on. Especially the fact we had a 3% increase on a collar as well, which can go up to 5% increase. So I'm not too sure really what they can do to make it a massive difference. But once again, I'm barbarian. I always end up lacking behind compared to rangers or clerics. But we'll move on from this topic now anyway. But yeah, that's a given update on the bonding runestones and the companions and changes, as well as the amount of money you're going to get for these bonding runestones. Next one, we have a new event starting today, 3 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. GMT +1, etc., etc. The new event is Dungeon Delver Delight. After the maintenance today,
we're going to be spamming dungeons.
But there's a lot of confusion that people have been talking to me about. They think they're going to get two items. So the chests have a chance to drop 2 legendary mounts. Incorrect. What it is 2 times the chance to drop that legendary mount. So the chance of you pulling something, your RNG number, so say if the legendary mount was, say, number 100, but you rolled a 99, well, say you rolled a 50, you doubled your chance, so it'll roll to 100. So you're more likely to get that number 100 than you were before the event. So that's what this Dungeon Delver is. It's all based on double your chances to get that top tier item. Because bearing in mind, I've seen in these chests that you can get 25 mount upgrade tokens, 25 companion tokens, and 25 time loom bars just from the chest. Which, if you get enough of, that's a crap ton of AD for those point farmers. So that happens in all dungeons except for the lower end dungeons. So if you do like regular Cloak Tower, regular Caverns of Corundax or anything like that, you don't get any other chance difference. It's only the epic dungeons, the trials, and the skirmishes for you to get double the chance of that loot drop. Now, for me, I'm going to be personally either running Zariel or Tom to get the chances, because I still know that Sword of Zariel costs quite a bit on the auction house. Still sells for quite a bit of money. But at the same time, the gold rings or a legendary mount or any other part of it from Tom drops more often for me than it is a completion in Zariel. So I'll be running both. Tom's a lot easier to finish, but Tom, you get kind of better drops, but then you're more likely to receive, say, like a sort of Zariel from completing Zariel anyway. Plus, on the difference as well, you can get companion gear. You'll still get the things like companion tokens, mount upgrade tokens, things like that. What are you going to be personally running, John, anyway?
Tom and Zariel, and maybe on alt characters, because I've got so many reroll tokens on them. I'll be doing some other things. I don't know what yet.
Are you more inclined to do the skirmishes now, because they're a lot quicker and you can probably reroll out of them?
Yeah, it'll probably be skirmishes I do on alt characters.
Yeah, well, skirmishes will probably be found a lot more because they're a lot quicker to do, but everyone's going to try and farm one thing and one thing only, and that is going to be the legendary mounts.
Yeah, most people will be doing Tom for them.
But what people... Yeah, but they'll probably end up going for the skirmishes as well. This is the difference, is people forget that the harder the dungeon is, the more likely you are to get the high tier drop. And people forget that. Whereas people would go, alright, I can just find skirmishes and get a legendary mount. It's double the chance, no problem. But realistically, equivalent wise, you're probably just doing a Tom run anyway if you were to do it on an easy skirmish. So yeah, that's the new event happening today. That'll last for 7 days, which would be pretty good. Oh no, it's not 7 days, it's 9 days.
Yeah, it's more than that.
9 days anyway.
They're taking it to the patch, not this week or week after.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, which will probably be when what's it face comes out on preview. The
Companion changes, most likely. But I gotta admit, kudos to Cryptic for actually being honest and telling us, and actually offering us something back for what our losses would have been. Considering previously we've had a lot of just wipes from them and no communication back and forth between the player base. So fair play, Cryptic, you've done your part this time. And then I just want to go over a quick little bug before we follow up with the outro here. Prysm knows exactly what I'm talking about when I come to this bug. So I logged into the game the other day, and bearing in mind I've got 100% bolster on majority of my mounts. It's 100% bolster anyway, but I always had 3000 magnitude tunnel vision. And I logged into the other day and it was down at 1200, and I didn't know why beforehand of finding that out I was doing so little damage. And then when I ended up just going over my character now, I saw that my magnitude was 1200. Which could end up turning out to be the Boots of Misty Step is actually bugged. So if you out there who do watch this and use the Boots of Misty Step as a mythic mount for your bolster, for your tunnel vision, it will bug you. It will bug you back down to 1200 magnitude. Especially now, Cryptic moderator or developer has replied to my bug report, and he said, "Thank you for the report. We've been able to confirm this issue internally. So it has been confirmed. The Boots of Misty Step is bugged, guys, for your tunnel vision. So make sure you can either hold it out or just go support role when you're trying to do some DPS." Oh, hello.
What's that comment underneath as well?
Oh, hello, John. Underneath, just buy a toad. Yeah, that's it. Easy shout out for John Chili over here. Buy a toad, easy 3k magnitude, Keck W. Funny guy. Anyway, guys, we are doing challenges as well. I just want to let you guys know we are doing challenges at the moment just to try and make things a little bit more fun.
Spice it up.
Yeah, just make things a little bit more fun for us during our streams and things. If you have got any recommendations for challenges that you want us to do, please leave a comment on the video below, or feel free to email us or talk to us in game, or I will leave the Discord link underneath if you want to go onto our Discord. The most recent challenge that I had to try and do was Prysm over here had to direct me while I was blindfolded to complete Tom. There we actually completed. Once. I failed miserably every other time, but that was the only complete. If you do want to check that out, I will put this up at the end of the video as well on the right hand side. But yeah, that's a 23-minute nice long podcast. Nice to see you all anyway. Thank you very much for returning back to the podcast and listening. Hopefully we can get some more content out. We are going to be doing new videos of our builds, and that's currently at the moment, because we've been trying to progress on maximizing our damage output, or in John's case over there, Prysm, his healing output as well. And he will probably be doing a video on Zariel soon.
Yeah, what I might do with that though is I might wait until these companion changes happen.
Yeah, well, I would say you could probably do one before and after for the people actually trying.
True.
So we'll see how that goes. We'll try and get a run together, and we'll get a recording. We'll try and get a good POV of it all anyway. Don't get me wrong, guys. DPS side of things.
DPS has the easiest job in Zariel.
Yeah, just swing and run away, or run back together. It's exactly the same as Tom. You're basically behind him or her, and person, one's a freaking wizard from Hogwarts, and the other one's a fallen angel that God doesn't give a crap about. I don't know. But yeah, it just seems to be like covered over of the same trial, but with a few different mechanics here and there. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Let's wrap this up then, John. Appreciate you all. If you do like the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
See ya.